continuity of being the same system now back-to-back seasons after having to go with two different systems is really paying off for you?
Yeah, definitely. Once you go, going back from my first year, trying to be a rookie, try to lock in, learn the whole scheme, and then, having to scrap all that and going to a whole nother scheme, it definitely, I wouldn't say it was a setback, but it definitely was a learning curve. So, having this year to be able to come back with the same scheme, with the same coaches, and a lot of the same players, I definitely think it helps. Definitely feel a lot more comfortable and allows you just to go out there and play fast and free.
What were some of the things that the coaching staff gave you during the off-season tips for you to work out and to work towards improving your game this year?
Yeah, I like how JG calls it. He always calls it, throwing your fastball. Whatever it's going to do to make you win, use it, And I think being able to express that, being able to, kind of play consistent and, maybe just a little bit more power, and then, throw a fastball and, throw a speed move off the edge. It definitely allows you to play fast and free.
How gratifying was it to get to the backfield not once but twice on Saturday?
It feels great, every time I'm getting home. Yeah, best feeling in the world.
How did you approach the offseason, especially after the end of last season when you didn't play in the last two games?
The same. I think a big reason to why I got to the NFL and got here was the consistency in my kind of my approach in my day to day. Whether it's waking up in the morning, eating the same breakfast, keeping that same routine, whether it's mobility or if it's like just light, bands or something like that, but just keeping it consistent every single day. Really not changing anything up because I know what works for me and keeping that consistency, through.
You mentioned you had gained weight this offseason, is that right?
No, maintained. Going from my rookie season to my sophomore season, I gained about a good 10 pounds this year. I kind of just took that weight and kind of cleaned it up and, it's made it feel a little bit leaner.
How many different spots are they asking you to play in the front?
You know what? It's different packages here and there have me kind of bouncing around a little bit, but it's pretty consistent off the edge. We have sometimes I'll be rushing inside while sometimes I'll be playing the run from the inside, but it's mainly off the edge.
A lot of guys this training camp and in preseason have talked about Nick Rallis's trash talking. What is it like having a young defensive coordinator who I imagine kind of relates with you guys on a lot of those levels?
Yeah, I love it. Having somebody to kind of shoot the shit with and and being able to just be able to relate to and talk football with. It's great. It's like it's like having a kind of a player as a coach. So I love it.
Any trash talk that you can repeat that stands out?
Oh man, I'm gonna keep that to inside the walls. Yeah.
How did you feel the pass rush in the last game did overall, especially guys like Xavier Thomas, Vic?
Yeah, I will say this about us. Something I really love about this edge group on this team is we're a very tight-knit group. We're a pack of dogs out there all hunting together. So one of us eat, we all eat.
It surprised you, you talked about using your fastball, being an NFL pass rusher, that you don't need 15 different moves, do one or two things really well. Was that a surprise to you that you didn't need maybe more in your arsenal?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll kind of tie that back into my routine. I think kind of reflecting a little bit this offseason, what that fastball is for me. I'm a bigger, kind of more lengthier dude. So, if I could use that, use that in my rushes consistently, and then, I think, I'm kind of using more power here and there, and I get the O-lineman to think, this guy's going to bring the heat again, getting them to sit down a little bit, and then that's where that fastball comes in 100%. What that fastball is, it could be a couple different moves. It could be a side scissors, cross chop. That kind of goes back and forth, but just being able to have a switch up and be able to have kind of a base, I think it's important.
Is it Zabin and Dennis kind of leading you guys in that room?
They're, they definitely do a very good job of, like I said, keeping a tight-knit group. I think they do a very good job of kind of keeping the consistency, and they do have a very big leadership role within our room.
When VJ went down, JG said that he didn't have to say anything to you guys in the room because you guys are all NFL players. Whenever that happened, did you guys talk at all about, hey, like, it's time for all of us to kind of bring it up, or was it just business as usual for you guys?
You know what? Obviously, BJ is one of our brothers. Like I said, he's one of our dogs out there hunting with us. So when it went down, it was devastating to all of us. And everybody in that room knew that they had to pick it up because he was, he's a great player and he had a big role in this team. So yeah, I think we all kind of strapped it up, buckled the chin strap it up, and knew that we all had to do our part.
You hear the things that are being written and said about this edge rush group. Do you hear people questioning it? And if so, what's your reaction to it?
It's outside noise. It's not in my control. I kind of just let it be.
With Coach Rob, how would you describe the job he does with a group that has a lot of different skill sets among different guys?
I think he does a fantastic job. I think he really kind of sets the standard. In our room, we kind of call it the pass rush mechanics, and if you could do you within those mechanics, you're gonna do a great job. And I think he does a fantastic job teaching those mechanics and letting everybody kind of be them off those mechanics. I absolutely think he's a great coach and he really cares for his players.
You guys had 33 sacks last year. Your personal approach, how much emphasis do you put on getting the sack compared to disrupting a drop back to maybe forcing, some sort of bad play?
Every single snap you go out there, you try to do your best job, whether it ends up in a sack or ends up in a pressure or, you do your job and allow somebody else to come free. I think every single snap you're trying to go out there and do your best.
You notice something from the new guys on the defensive line? Is it making your job easier to get to the quarterback, potentially with Darius, Justin, and Bilal?
Yeah, I love every one of those guys. I think they're all going in there, rushing like madmen. I love Darius, and I like the way he's been approaching the game, especially from as a rookie. Dude is a freak in nature. He's just incredibly long, and he uses his length very well. And I know he will do a very good job in improving and helping this defense.